Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I'm going to start the Policy Review Committee Monday, January 11th. We want to also recognize all participants. My name is Bucky Scott. Anyone else here?
Rob Hurley.
Tanya Bell. Ashley Godfrey.
Greg Cooper.
Kristen Thompson.
So at this time, we have apparently like four main policies to read this evening or go discuss. First one is Policy 103, Volume 4 to 2020. And I'll let Rob take care of that, please.
Sure, no problem. Let me give you a little bit of context for these policy proposals that are here tonight. Three of the four policies have to deal with Act 110, which was passed in November, December by our government. And basically what this act did is any student they all deal with dating violence, these policies, and basically the act says any student that was convicted of sexual assault, they would then be forced to, the school would then either expel them, transfer them, or reassign them so that the victim didn't have to see that person every day, which obviously makes a lot of sense. And so these policies themselves deal with those topics and that particular law itself. If I might, I would kind of start off, if we could, and they're a little bit out of order here, but policy 252 on dating violence. And basically what this does, it outlines general complaint procedures that students can follow. And it also talks about where these policies should be published, like in the student handbook that goes out, in the code of conduct, on the district website, etc. That's the type of thing it does. It also talks a little bit about training of staff and students, and if you see that, pretty straightforward in terms of that. Obviously, it helps us comply with Act 110. You can take a look through that. And then I'll go on to, let me see here, guys. Policy 218. Policy 218 deals with, what it does is it helps us, this one deals with obviously it gives you definitions of sexual assault and things like that. It also gives things, options to the administration as to what we can do with that person. For example, we can expel the student. It puts it exactly like the law says. We can transfer students to an alternative education, which is River Rock for us, or we can reassign the students to another educational program in the school district. Could be like cyber school, so that, again, trying to keep the victim away from the student, and they don't have to see that student day after day. Outlines in here some guidelines for doing that, but that's the essence of that policy, and that's policy 218. And finally, policy 103 also deals with this topic. We have an interesting situation here. Title IX, as you're aware from an earlier policy meeting this summer, Title IX was passed, some modifications for K-12 and how that's enforced. And what policy 103 does is it basically shows us how it gives us the ability to meet both laws, both Title IX and also it allows us to meet the Act 110 law at the same time. And the way it does it is basically under Title IX, there has to be a written investigation and a written determination by the school district for Title IX to happen. But that obviously takes some time, so it allows the school district to place that student somewhere else, as I said, through cyber school or through like a River Rock type of placement before that actual written determination is made in the Title IX investigation. So basically, it tries to make functional the two different laws that conflict a little bit right there. So it's a very functional policy in that regard. But if you take a look at those policies, that's what we kind of have, and that'll help get us in compliance with Act 110. If there aren't any questions on that, the last policy, we have those three policies. The last policy we have on here is just part of our systematic review of school district policies. It's policy 809, deals with recycling. Obviously, completely different topic. Policy 809, it basically is codifying exactly what we do as a school district. We do have recycling programs in each of our buildings. With our trash contractor, they do take our recycling bins. Those are like the yellow ones that are out there. So we already do all that, but that's basically codifying that for us.
Rob, that takes care of all our policies?
Yes.
Okay. Does anyone have any questions? This may be the quickest meeting we've had in a long time. That concludes our policy review committee.